In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a master shield sketch and how to resize it for a bigger scale model of a drawing or a painting like I did in a previous video that I started. Well, what you first want to do is measure down from the top and measure from the side. You could use any measurement you want, just as long as it's measurement where you could have space to write in your corrections if you need to, if you mess up at any time, or if you have your color changes, or whenever you're mixing your colors and you find the color that you want to use, you could go ahead and write that down on which colors you mix together to make that color, so you'll remember in the future if you didn't make a whole lot of that color. So what I did is I started out by taking a roller, measured out about 3 inches from the side, make a mark, and I made 6 inches from the top. Bring those points together and here you'll have your first line. Oops. The reason why I'm doing it like this, because it's easier to do it in sections. I had to add another measurement in the middle so that this would be more even, because you can see here on the side I had to make a correction, so I had to go 5 inches, or I want 5 inches here, and then 5 inches again, and then 5 inches again. Or you just go right off the edge of the paper. It doesn't matter, as long as you have the 2 points at 5 inches. And then you go ahead from the top where you made that little line and put your roller as straight as you can and just straight down the page. And you want to measure down from this box that you first made the same, either the same width or the same width of these boxes, which will automatically be made here. You could place your lines anywhere where you know that you'll just have certain parts of the drawing covered. And I add a line here at the edge, more even square boxes in the middle and then on the bottom, and so on. I'll explain the rest of this here in a bit of this video. Okay, now the next thing you're going to want to do is when you're going to start out your sketch. Whenever I first did this, I'd start with the outside lines, and over time, or when you sketch the outside of the shape to start with first, you can refine the edges as much as you want, or you could just make a shape that you think is close to being how you want it to be. Now remember, I'm just going back over the lines that I already made so that you can see exactly, you know, how I start and how I finish. Well, whenever I did my general shape, I changed it a few times. You can see here I changed the edge and I had to erase, and I even added an extra line in the middle . Now your next step is whenever you're going to draw your basic shapes, you're just going to want to start with the shape that is in the box. So it's always good to have handy like something you could look from, like you could take maybe an image from offline, or you could take an image online and try to, you know, copy that the best you can. And what I did is I started to make the shapes just in the box. Or you can just finish the shape, it doesn't matter, as long as you're just making that first shape in that box. Now sometimes you want to tend to jump and finish rest of the parts, but sometimes when you do that you end up making it uneven, like I did. Whenever I started this, I wanted my first circle of the shield to line up with my first line, which is right here. That's why I went out the I went 3.5 inches actually, not the 3 inches, and that's where the first point of the circle is. And you can see in this side I had to make my changes, and I wrote in that the circle is going to be moved down to that line. I sketched over this a few times until I got, you know, basically the shape that I wanted. And remember, I'll look on hand of a copy or different positions of the shield that you would want to draw out. Say if you want the shield to be seen from the side or a frontal view like I have. And then you do the same shape on the other side and try to make it even with the other side. If you haven't seen the other video yet, I did this in a live version for my painting I did on this. It didn't turn out that great with the audio, and I couldn't see the comments because I didn't know how to set it right. So if you want to go and take a look at what I started for that painting, that would be great. I've actually gotten a lot more done of that other painting than what I did in the video. I made a lot of corrections. See, if I had like an exact copy of this again here, like my printer is dead, so I couldn't put another copy of this here beside this, where you could basically almost copy it from like the same exact thing. Once you get the middle parts of this done, you could get a more clear image of how the general shapes are going to be. Just like when I did this bird, see this bird here, the normal Master Shield bird, I wanted to move this image. I'm just going to go over this quick. I wanted to move this the red part of the bird wing down, so that's where I moved it down to the second point here, and then I measured out where each one of these wings are going to be. That's what you see here, and I measured out, how far apart they would be. It's going to be still 3.5 inches apart. Now the reason why you want to write down your measurements on the side here is in case, since this is just going to be your rough sketch, if you wanted to make it bigger, you just ×2 or ×3 everything. So whenever you go to, say you want to paint it like I did, you just ×3 everything where the positioning is for each parts of your drawing. You could even add the colors in. That's why I added the colors in here, so I know what colors it's supposed to be without having to look again, because I had to do that a few times to figure out what colors were where and what were what, to get it to look the exact same as it's supposed to be. But the whole reason behind moving the wings was because I wanted to give it my own personal look to it. I didn't want it to be exactly the same, so that's why I moved the wings. I wanted to kind of like radiate off of it, like how sunlight would hit metal, since this is a metal shield. Like it's sort of coming off of the image. And it's always good to start writing in what colors are these parts after you've sketched them out. See, I should have just put like red on this side, then, you know, traced out that part. But then again, remember that your line placement, you can always refine it as you're going. I've went over these like 100 times, having to erase everything. Make sure you have a good eraser so that you don't leave the lines behind, because some of them lines, depending on what kind of paper you're using, can make it dip into paper, in case you just want to use the image that you're sketching out for your drawing instead of redoing it again. And for the harder parts, what I've done is I've added another line, doesn't matter where, in between each section, so that I know, get a better perspective of where these shapes are going to be. So whenever I went and put it onto the canvas for my painting, that I'd have a better idea where the shapes are going to be. So in the videos that I did live through the Hangout, I did a lot of fixing after those videos were put up, because I placed these parts wrong, and I forgot to add in these feet. Now, since you have this line here that I have added it in the middle, you could go ahead and from its very edge, if you wanted it skinnier, you could draw your lines up to those points. See this line should be right there, and that might have thrown this whole sketch off. That's probably why I had to redo certain sections. So you know that basically both sides are going to be somewhat the same. So if you have to redo this section here, since it's skinny, too skinny, so that I know when I go to put it onto the painting or resketching this all out, I would make my corrections on there instead of on here, or just to perfect the lines a lot better. The bottom of your lines of the shield, when you go to sketch them out, it doesn't matter where you start as long as you're starting in the section of the boxes. I usually bring these lines here, the bottom of the shield, up with this other one, with the whatever this part of the shield is. See, it matches with this line. I wrote in gray here, this is gray, with a black line around. You always want to make sure that your lines that you're putting in for the portions that you're tracing over, make sure that if that portion of the shield from the original is black or whatever color it is, make sure you write along that line that this is going to be black, so that in case whenever you go to redo it, that you don't use some other color and accidentally mess up what you already have. See, I wrote in here, the section is white. And I had written down here, reposition bird, if I wanted to, since I repositioned it. If you want to reposition yours, you don't have to. If you want to just keep it the same. And I added in the pointer lines. It works great whenever you go to want to redo it, or if you want to try to draw it a few different times to perfect your drawing skills. This is like probably my 5th time, I believe, sketching this out. I've done it in like different angles. But to help me move my bird wings, I created a box. You can see here in the red lines here, so that I know that my wing positions are going to be this way. And they did the same thing for this other side, as I created that box so that they both match up whenever I go to reposition them for a bigger scale drawing or the painting. Started a new thing where on my channel, to bring more of the community together, I started a playlist for all YouTubers. Any YouTuber that makes videos, I created a playlist. If you would like to be in that playlist, just ask. Leave a comment on this video, or ask and comment on my channel, and I will gladly add any video you would like to that playlist. The reason why I'm doing that is because a lot of us want to get our videos out there, and what better way to do that than to help you guys out. Like, just like myself, I want my videos to be out there and to be seen. And sometimes not a lot of people are friendly anymore. They're not willing to help you out in any way. So I figured, what the heck, you know, there's 8,000 subscribers, why not do that? So if you would like to have one of your videos added to my playlist, just ask me in the comment and like this video. If you don't like this video and don't comment, then I'm not adding your video to the playlist. I signed my contract with Full Screen a few days ago. Hopefully here in another day or so I will be full partner on YouTube. We're just waiting for the confirmation through YouTube. So I had to remove a few videos, like I did last week. I removed 90 videos because of the audio that were in some of the videos. I used audio that were in the library for YouTube, and you can't monetize those if you want to be a partner. And I just wanted to be a partner for the banners. I didn't care about all that crap. But I guess you can't have YouTube music to put in your videos. It has to be royalty-free music. Which, now that I'm partnered with Full Screen, they have like a whole list of royalty-free music to use. So I probably won't do that for this video. I'm sorry that I've been gone for so long, even though it's been like only a week, but I've had to get some things done that, you know, we all have things that we have to do in our lives, and everything's looking up for me for right now, I guess. A lot of changes. My brother's getting married. We're planning all that. Well, I'm not planning that, but he is. And maybe, hopefully, I'll be the DJ, which I doubt it. They'll probably hire somebody. So yes, you could use a roller to go around the shapes if you need to. Hopefully this helped you in some way. So remember that to start out in little sections of the boxes, even even just doing this section of the box if you have to. So looking at the image that you have and just start sketching out with your pencil. Like, just for an example, since I should have just started this all over again, but I really didn't want to. Here's what the painting looks like now. I didn't finish more of it because I was refining some of the edges, making them a lot more neater. I still gotta fix this here, you know, these little detail lines, and I did a lot of fixing on this, so because it's, you know, because my original sketch was a little messed up. But in the video before this, this side was messed up, and I had to redo all over this. I had to paint the white and fix it. And you see the glitter in the bird. I know it's hard to see on this camera, and the lighting isn't all well that great. But yeah, ask me in a comment here, like this video, if you want me to add your video to the playlist. You'll see it's the second one on my channel.